Good morning, Bianca. Good morning, Katie. And let me just say, first of all, nothing makes me laugh harder than that video of them running in the dino suits. It is way too good, way too good. A great way to kick off this morning. But we are outside of Holland Elementary School. We're going to catch all the action for you. There's been people out on the roads. Folks are heading to work, and students, they are headed back to class for the first time. So exciting things here. We have so many things we want to talk to you about. We're going to have you covered from here in Virginia Beach all the way out to Northeast North Carolina with our Brett Hall, and in Newport News with our Camaria Bray. Also throughout the show, we're going to be sprinkling in some things about safety measures that have been implemented, new faces. We've got so many new superintendents across our area, and then even some budgeting tips. You know, in this fiscal climate, things are hard. And so what can you do to prepare your kid for school throughout the week this week without breaking the bank, right? So we're going to get to all of that, but it's also very important to know what the weather is going to be outside. I tell you what, I put my hair up today because I knew the humidity and the rain was going to get the best of me if I didn't. Let's send it over to our Jeremy Wheeler. Jeremy, when's the rain going to start?
All right. Yeah, we got a few spotty showers out there.
It is busy out here, Bianca and Katie. Lots going on. The students are walking with their parents. They're on the bus. They're in the cars, even with their dogs. So there's so much going on, but things are going smoothly out here at Holland Elementary School. And I do have a special guest with me this morning, not to be confused with our Don Roberts. We have the new superintendent, Dr. Don Robertson. So Don, talk to me a little bit about, you know, this is the first year going back before Labor Day. Were you ready to go back earlier?
We were ready. We spent a lot of time, actually since the end of the school year.
At 12:32, back to that breaking news out of Suffolk. Several people are in the hospital, students rather, after officials say a fire extinguisher accidentally discharged in a hallway at Nansemond River High School. Now here is some video from Chopper 10. They just flew above the scene. This all happened just before 10 this morning, again in a hallway of the school off Nansemond Parkway. Firefighters are now saying 69 students complained of respiratory irritations and breathing problems. Medics are treating some of those students in the school auditorium, and we've been updated that 9 students were sent to area hospitals. Investigators say the fire extinguisher emitted a dry chemical powder that's normally designed to put out a fire. Again, there is no actual fire inside the school. This was accidental. The fire chief told Arkeana Patterson the fire extinguisher actually fell off the wall in a hallway. So no crime was committed. This was not a malicious incident. Crews also disabled the school's HVAC system so that those chemicals wouldn't continue to spread throughout the building and get other people sick. The school system says it has notified parents about the situation. The fire departments from several other cities are also on the scene. And the chief said that more of the students are experiencing symptoms of like coughing, wheezing. Some are having a variety of complaints, but for a majority of the students, coughing and wheezing is what we're seeing. So again, 9 students transported to area hospitals. We're working to get an update on how they're feeling right now, but that has been the latest. Again, this was an accidental situation where a fire extinguisher fell off the wall and exploded in the hallway. And they said this happened during a class exchange, so there were a lot of students in the hallway. We're going to continue to follow this breaking news all midday. Be sure to stick with us on air and online at wavy.com and on the Wavy News app.
One of the greatest athletes our area has ever produced has done it again.
Woo! Look at him go. So smooth, so clean. I mean, he's really making everybody else not look so good. Grant Holloway once again shined the brightest on the biggest stage. Newport News police say the victim in a deadly shooting this past weekend was a 16-year-old boy, and they haven't named him because of his age. Newport News officers arrived on 34th Street and found the boy with gunshot wounds. He died at the hospital. Right now, we're still working to learn more about any suspects. If you know anything that could help police, call the crime line. That's 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP, or you can use the P3 Tips app. 69 in the lows. I can work with that.
Yeah, yes, some 60s. There'll be some mid-60s inland. We didn't focus on it, but that last day, next week, upper 70s for highs one day. So, yeah.
Is that jean leather, possibly?
No, probably not.
You don't think jeans yet?
Folks. No.
Oh, Jeremy will
This guy loves to have his kneecaps out, let me tell you. If he could wear shorts on air, he would do it.
I would, yeah. It's going to happen.
We've tried to find the suit with shorts.
It's going to happen. If LeBron could do it, I could do it.
He thinks he's LeBron. Y'all.
Well, no, I definitely do.
But first, we start this midday with breaking news. U.S. officials say the Pentagon has quietly dispatched the Virginia Beach-based SEAL Team 6, along with the Army's Delta Force, to Cyprus. Thank you for joining us. I'm Aesia Tolver. The commandos being sent over to Cyprus are also trained in hostage rescue operations, as many Americans are still held hostage by Hamas. The White House says they have no plans to put soldiers in Gaza. Right now, we're working to learn more, and we'll bring you the latest as it comes in. And new information this midday, Suffolk police have identified the victim in a deadly crash as 62-year-old Henry Baker. It happened on White Marsh Road just before 8 last night. No word on what caused this crash, but police do say Baker was the only person involved. Stay with us on air and online for further updates. A man is dead and 4 others are recovering this midday after a weekend of violence in Portsmouth. This all unfolded Saturday night. The shootings happened at locations just a couple of miles apart. Now, the first shooting was on Commonwealth Avenue. The second one, Virginia Avenue. 10 on your side's Maria Bray has more from the police investigation. Maria, thank you. Well, today marks a year since 3 students lost their lives in a shooting at UVA. Deshaun Perry, Devin Chandler, and Lavelle Davis Jr. lost their lives last November. Police say a former teammate is the one who pulled the trigger. This happened on a bus as the group came back from a class field trip. There will be a ceremony today at 12:55 p.m. to honor them. The chapel bells will sound a verse of Amazing Grace, followed by 3 tolls of the bells. The community there is also encouraged to gather outside the chapel or on the lawn in solidarity. The event will be live streamed. And the Chesapeake Walmart on Battlefield Boulevard is closing early on the 1-year remembrance for the mass shooting. The Walmart on Sam Circle Drive will close at 5 p.m. on November 22nd. On that day last year, an employee shot and killed 6 of his co-workers in the store. A Walmart spokesperson says the closure will give store associates time to reflect and grieve. Switching gears now up to the weather. Here's a live look outside from Tower Cam 10 high above downtown Portsmouth. Steve described it as bright and brisk, and sounds really kind of nice if you put it that way. Let's send it over to him for an update on if this is going to switch up on us or not, Steve.
Disregard how cold it was this morning. It was bright and brisk, yes. Well, since so many of us shop on Amazon, it's quite nice that they're giving us a new shopping cart to replace the rickety one that is so full
right.
of Amazon
Isn't it the worst when you get the one that has like the one wheel that just doesn't, you're like that guy that's all loud in the aisle.
It's a virtual shopping cart, of course.
Well, it adds up to your groceries as you shop, right? So Rich DeMiro explains how all of this new things work. And we have team coverage all morning. 10 on your side's Maria Bray is on the Outer Banks, giving you updates on the conditions out there as the storm passes through. And then our Brett Hall is live at the ocean front as that storm brings rip currents out that way. And thank you. As we've been reporting, the Outer Banks is seeing wind and rain from Tropical Storm Idalia as it continues its path out to sea.
One of those places on the Outer Banks that is seeing impacts is Kitty Hawk. 10 on your side's Maria Bray is there this morning. So, Maria, how are the conditions there right now?
Some districts have canceled classes. Others will have remote learning instead. And we have the full list so you don't get confused on wavy.com. And our coverage of Tropical Storm Idalia continues on the south side.
Although most of Hampton Roads is not getting much more than some rain and wind, it does have an effect on the water at the ocean front for sure. And that is where we find 10 on your side's Brett Hall. Brett, of course, rip currents, and we're finally getting a view of the angry ocean behind you there.